Hello. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining House of Heels. We see you. Miss Kraken, we see you. Hi, good afternoon, House of Heels. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Efito Bore. Feyi Ogunbawo, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon. How you guys doing? Official VV Luxury. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Miss Kraken, we're glad to have you here as well. Thank you. Hi, Olanike Precious. Good afternoon. I see you all. Thank you so much for joining us. You're so early. Isn't that wonderful? Good afternoon, Bukola. Thank you for joining us. Chisom, good afternoon. Big sorry, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Brainworks Food, good afternoon. We're so happy to have you here. Right on a Budget Nigeria. It's so good to see you. Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on the first session of our Demystifying Bank Loans with W series. We promise you it's going to be a long ride of insightful sessions and impacting ones as such. So make sure that you do not miss any one of it. Thank you so much once again for joining. And we're going to be starting in a few minutes so that we just want to have a few other people join so that people do not miss out on anything that is happening. But what I want you to do right now is to tell a friend, to tell another friend that the W Initiative is live on Instagram and we're going to be talking about loans. So make sure that you're not missing out on this. I know a lot of you have so many questions you want to ask. We're here for you today. So tell your friends to join us and so that we can start very, very shortly. Thank you once again for joining. Adebisi Afolayan, thank you so much for joining. I see you. If Green is here, Daki Love is here. Nice. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. And we're going to be starting very, very shortly. Okay, so while we wait for people to join more, I wanted you to let me know. So if I tell you that you need a collateral for every type of loan you want to access, do you think that's a fact or it's just a myth? I want you to put it in the comment section. Do you think it's a fact or a myth that you need a collateral for every type of loan you may want to access? I'd like to hear from you, so let's hear it. Do you think that you need collateral? Oh, Miss Kraken says it's a myth. Thank you. Oh, Bimpe says it's a fact. Oh, wow. Right on a Budget says it's a myth. Demi says it's a myth. Purple Peony Decor says it's a fact. Someone says he believes it's a fact. Oh, wow. Oh well, so today we're going to be talking about loans, and so I want you to just hold on so that you can find out whether it's truly a myth or a fact. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Welcome once again. I'm so excited to be hosting you on this on the W community today. My name is Ifeoluwa Omota, and it is always a pleasure to be here with you guys. Now we're going to be starting the session very briefly. Our goal today is very, very simple. What we're trying to do is to make the world of loans less intimidating and easily accessible for women. We know that we've heard a lot of things about loans. A lot of people have different opinions about loans, and when they just hear loans, they're like, no way, it's not me. Today we're going to be talking about loans. We are going to be bringing you two beautiful women on this Instagram live today. One is a loan expert who's going to be talking to you from the perspective of the professional, and we also have a businesswoman who is doing very well in her business and has gone through this process, and she's going to be talking to you live, so you know that we're not just capping, we're saying the facts, right? So thank you so much once again for joining. Today we're going to be looking at smart funding for women entrepreneurs. You know that in anything that you need to do, you have to be smart. And I know that you're smart people, beautiful women, smart women, smashing everything, doing things, you know. So I trust you people now, right? So today we're going to be talking about smart funding for female entrepreneurs. So do not go anywhere. What you want to do is to grab your notepads and your pens, make yourself comfortable, because you are going to be jotting down everything that will be said today, and I don't want you to miss anything, just so that when you go back to your business, you're just going to be doing things and people will be like, who is this one, right? Great. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We have, like I said to you earlier, we have two beautiful women who are going to be joining me on this Instagram live session today, and I'm going to just invite them in very shortly. Now, while I'm trying to invite them, right, if you need a business loan as a female business owner, just know that Access Bank has various products that are tailored to help women thrive in their businesses. We're talking different kinds of loan. The W Power loan is there. It is for every business woman who is looking for working capital or looking for, to expand a business, or to, acquire assets for our business. We also have the W Power Vehicle Loan, and that is to, provide mobility for your business. So you can buy pre-owned or even new cars for your business purposes. We also have the W Switch to Solar Loan, and this one is, to help women in business like yourself to access a cleaner and more affordable source of electricity for your businesses. So we're talking if you want to purchase inverters, if you want to purchase solar panels, just to power up your businesses, we're here for you. We also have the W Home Loan that is, designed to help female business owners become homeowners, and we have the W Health loans, and this one is available to support the health care for women and children. So you see that we have a lot of loan products for you, available for your businesses, available for your health as well. So that we can move on from that conversation is why this session has been put together. So we want you to understand the nitty-gritties when it comes to accessing loans, right? So I'll just invite my speakers into the session now so that we can go on to, have this conversation. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Well, fine.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're waiting for Adaku to join just so that we can then go ahead to have this conversation we have been preparing to have, right?
Okay.
So for everyone on the call, I said earlier that I have two beautiful women who are going to be joining me on this Instagram live session today. And the first person who is already here is a seasoned agropreneur, right? She is the CEO of If Green Foods. And then you can see from her face that she's very passionate about what she does, right? She is very much passionate about revolutionizing the agriculture sector, especially the cassava value chain, right? And under her leadership, If Green has expanded from FMCG products to industrial derivatives. I mean, she has grown the business from just a two-man team to about 65 direct staff and over 200 casual staff. Isn't that a woman doing big things? That's so nice, right? So we have her here. She's going to be talking to you about her experience as a business owner and how much the loans she has taken has helped her business. We're still waiting for Adapa to join.
Okay. Shall I stay there?
Yes, I am here. Okay, great. Hi, Adapu. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing well.
Great. Adaku is the second speaker that we've been waiting for. I mean, she is also a very experienced credit risk professional. I mean, those are the people that you should hold responsible when you're talking about loans because they are the ones that will review your credit, will review your loan application just to know that, oh, you are qualified. What do you need to do better in your business before you are able to access a loan? So Adapu works with Access Bank. She's currently the credit review and monitoring officer here at Access Bank. It's good to have you, Adapu. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I know that a lot of the women on this call have questions to ask, so make sure that you're dropping your questions in the Q&A section as we go on, just so that we're able to take them. And make sure that you're following the W community. I mean, this and so much more are what we have put in place for our women to enjoy, just so that you're the first set of people to enjoy everything that we bring your way. Make sure that you're following us across all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and X at the W community. Now, I don't want us to waste any more time, right? I want us to start from the top. Adaku, this is to you. My first question is, what is a loan exactly? And why is it important for women to, understand the bank loan process? Adaku, can you hear me? Oh, Adaku seems to be experiencing a technical glitch. Hi, Adaku, can you hear me? Okay, so I move on to Ifoma. Ifoma, I'd like to ask you, right, before you took your first business loan, what were the specific steps that you took?
Okay. First of all, starting a business is, or having an idea to start up a business is good. Then, it follows by your feasibility study and your business plan. So, when I started, of course, it's not advisable to start with loan because what you have on paper is different from the real thing in real life. And besides, you can't even get a loan with a business that is not bankable. So one of the things we did was to start up the business with our personal funds. So when we started, and structure is very good in business. You cannot want to start up a business and you don't have a business account and you are running it from your personal account because you need trajectory on business growth because that is what, and of course you have to have a bank, access bank. Anyway, so on a lighter mood, so you have to have a trajectory because it is through your bank statement. You have to have a proper account. You need to ensure that you set up your business in a way that you can be able to track growth and know when you can go to the bank for loan. Yeah, thank
Great,
you.
great. And I am very, very much interested in what you just said because really,
So,
a lot of people come to the bank
through
with, oh, I just had a
your
but
bank
I need a
statement,
loan.
you have to
So
have a
you
proper.
just made it clear that you cannot just be starting your business and be trying to access a loan. It may not be very good for the business. Thank you so much, Ifoma. That was very brilliantly said. And she also said you need to open your business account. All of you that you are transacting from your personal account, it's not going to
Yeah.
work. Better go and open your Access Bank business account so that you can be able to secure loans for your business. Okay, Adaku, thank you so much for joining us back.
Hi.
We're happy to have you. I was asking you what a loan is and why it is important to understand the loan process in the bank.
All right. So a loan is a credit facility. It's funds that you request from your bank to help you either for working capital or asset finance. So it is something that you borrow to put in your business and then you repay back to the bank. So credit facilities are very important, right? They help to grow the business, right? Imagine if, as a business owner, you are trying to grow your business and you are spending all your capital with expenses. You will not be able to expand. You will not be able to, cater to some of your urgent expenses, and then your business may not survive. So loans are very important. Well, it is very, very important for you to first of all understand your business and understand your funding need, and of course have a funding partner that will understand your business and will be your partner and not try to rip you off, which is what Access Bank is to a lot of its customers. So it's not just about taking a loan, but it's understanding that funding need and taking the loan from the right institution.
Great. Thank you so much, Adaku. I mean, it aligns with what Ifoma just said. You need to understand your business before you're even talking about a loan, right? And she said something. She said a loan is a credit facility that is borrowed. You have to return your loan. So if you collect loan and you're not returning it, you're not doing well. Oh. Make sure that when you get loans from the banks, you're returning it to time, just so that somebody else out there is able to also access credit for their business and everybody can thrive together. Thank you so much. Adaku, I'm still with you. So I mean, a female food processor like Ifoma is, if they need funding and do not have property to to drop as collateral, what is to be done? Is it that they cannot access a loan just like that?
People have. If you don't have collateral, you will not be able to access a loan. That's food processor, for instance. In Access Bank, we have products that without collateral, or in some cases we can even look at your equipment, look at some of the assets you have, and based on that we can give you a percentage of that as a loan. So remember that banks are not collateral. Banks are in the business of giving out loans back. So your repayment source is actually more important than what you term as your collateral. Of course, collateral is important. It is additional comfort for the bank, but the bank is extremely interested in how your business is running if you understand the business and how the money will be repaid.
Great,
So even
great.
if you do not have collateral, we have series of products in the bank. We have the cash flow, we have the term loans, where you can bring a credible guarantor. We have different products where you do not have to have a massive collateral to be able to access this loan.
Thank you so much, Adaku. So you see why I was asking you if it was a myth or a fact that you need collateral for every kind of loan you're trying to access. No, you do not need collateral for every kind of loan you're trying to access. Adaku just mentioned the cash flow loan, which is a loan against your cash flow from your business. So you don't necessarily have to bring a collateral for that. So I hope you're understanding why this session was then brought together for you, so that you understand the nitty gritties. And when you're going to the bank to request for whatever thing you need for your business, you are going as somebody that knows what you are saying. When you're even talking, the banker will think, oh, is she working in a bank? Is she our colleague, right? So you should understand all of these things that we're bringing your way. Thank you so much, Adaku, for that. Now I'm coming back to you, Ifoma. So I wanted to know what you think you would have done differently at the time you maybe started your business, or even when you got your loan. What do you think you would have done differently?
Okay, what I would have done differently if I've sorry?
So in terms of when you accessed your loans, were there any things that you did and you think you could have done in a different way?
No, no.
Okay.
Um, Sincerely, I don't think there's anything I would have done differently because each loan that we took from Access Bank, we needed those loans and it was used for what it was needed for.
Great, great. I really love what you said just now. You needed it. Now, it is another thing to need a loan, right? It's another thing to be able to access it. It is another thing not to need a loan, but then you feel like, oh, loan is available. Let me just take it, right? So she needed it. Our business needed it. You don't take a loan when you don't need it because it might become a problem for your business, right? Thank you so much, Ifoma. That was brilliantly said. Now, Adako, I'm coming back to you. So I'm trying to use examples now. Let's say a fashion entrepreneur who has been in business for about 2 years. She's making good sales, but then she doesn't have financial records. She wants, like, say, a 3 million naira loan. She's trying to expand her business. What is your advice and how should she proceed?
All right. So the most important thing is we have the clinic. We can teach you on the importance of trying to get your records ready, trying to get your financials, trying to put some structure in your business. But however, that does not stop us from coming to have the interview session with you. We can go through, because regardless of if you have the structured financials or not, you will have where you have your receipts, you have where you take note of your expenses. So based on that, working as a partner, we can help you to build a template where you can access our cash flow loan. So women can access our cash flow loan with zero collateral up to a certain amount for a very, very reasonable interest rate. And then based on that, coaching you, assigning you with mentors, you'll be able to expand. And remember that our expansion loans are up to 3 years. So we won't even put a lot of pressure on you to pay within a very short period. You know, the most important thing, as I always say, is for you to show that you understand your business, you know what you want to use the loan for, right? And you can also show us how you'll be able to repay the loan. That is the most important aspect of
Great. So
funding.
repayment is the most important aspect. You need to be able to show how you're going to repay your loan. And if you don't know, even your bank statement can serve as some form of record for your business, right? That is why
Exactly.
I was emphasizing on you opening your Access Bank business account, because really when you print out your account statement, it tells you how much came into your business, how much left your business. That can
Yeah.
serve as a form of record for you, even if you don't have all the formal financial records. So you need to actually open a business for an account for your business. Thank you so much, Adako. That was very well said. I'm coming back to you now. As a woman who is doing well in their business, is it right to mix business with personal finances?
Not at all. It's not good. It's not good in the sense that it's business. Business is business. Remember that you might have the idea and start that business small, but you should not. The business is once you start it, you should look at it not to be small. It has to grow. And if when you are starting, you cannot be able to differentiate between your business account with your personal account, there's a problem. Because with time, you do not, if you go beyond just loaning money from bank, go into investors that want to invest in your business. Is it by then you will now start running head scatter? So I don't advise any business owner, especially women. I know it can be very tricky and tacky in the beginning, but you should have it spelled out so that you will know where funds can be put into and know
Great.
how funds can be taken out of the business.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as a business owner, don't mix business with pleasure. As it is always said, do
Yeah.
not mix business with pleasure. Don't mix your business finances with personal finances. It's not going to help you. If I'm still with you, right? What advice would you give based on your journey, right, to make a business more bankable? So if I came to you as someone who just started a business, what advice would you give me to make my business more bankable?
Okay. One thing you have to understand is that business is a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You know, depending on your niche business, anyways. So if you're into production, just know that you don't know everything when you start. I'm talking from the aspect of production. I'm not talking from the aspect of trade. Trading is I buy at XY and I sell at YZ. But when it comes to production, it has to start with your input to your final, the process in between. You don't know all of you don't know them at once. So my think my advice to build a growing business, in order to grow your business and make it bankable, is that first of all, start right. What do I mean by start right? Ensure that whichever level you are, you're able to set structures in place. I can remember starting a business. I was the accountant, was the HR, I was the production manager, I was a farm manager, because I was wearing so many caps. I started writing down in my notebook, little expensive. I write it down. It's about knowledge. Then I'm like, okay, what am I looking into? When someone comes, I go to the net, I draft, I give them an employment letter. Whichever way I write it, I just write it. I just give it to them so that there will be bond between both of us. So from there, I got to the point. I said, we need an accountant. I didn't get an accountant. I got just an OND, someone that had accounting background. The person came in and started working. So you have to be intentional in what you do. Just like being intentional in your life, in whatever you do. Business also is another sphere of your life. You have to be intentional. So I had to, that was it. Then you have to track of both. That is consistent. You have to keep that account. You have to keep track of both the business accounts and also what you do. But you need to know, okay, where should I put my funds? Or how should I do my production so that I'll be able to reduce costs to the barest minimum? And also, don't forget, you must know your niche market. You must know your target market because you produce, you don't sell. How do you pour money back into the business? And I know, yes, starting up business can be very hectic and tedious. It happens to every business person, even as you are growing. Don't mind my introduction. I still need money now. So at each phase of business, if your business is getting bigger, you need more funds to put into the business. Because one, you need to know your market. You need to know my market. How can I grow my market? And as a business owner, I will advise you do CAP, customer advance payment. What do I mean? If a customer needs this, can they give me money in advance? Maybe part payment. It can be part of your policy. So I can also not have to look for money to be able to reduce because that's another challenge. And you can now use the money to reduce to supply the customer and be able to get money. It will help you to have to be liquid in your business at the beginning. Then you begin to grow from there and also give quality. When you give quality, another customer will bring another customer, and then you begin to grow. Then if you begin to have your account, you'll be able to know how much do I need from my bank, how much do I need from Access Bank. You'll be able to- Yes. You don't just like uh, Ogo- Amaka said, right?
Adaku.
I'm done. Adaku, sorry. Adaku said, sorry, ma'am. So
Yeah, it's
what am
fine.
I? You don't have to go for big money. You have to go from the stage you are. Do you understand? So you can go for smaller digits to be able to put and ensure that you have POs. What do I mean by POs? You already have a market for whatever you want to buy, for whatever loan you want to collect. Let there be that there's already a market for it so that you know that you are producing for an already market. It helps you in paying your loan. If not, you find out that if you collect that loan, you'll be struggling to pay the loan. And if you collect loan for working capital, make sure you use your loan to do what you say you want to do. Make sure you put it in working capital. Don't use it to buy assets because it will tie it down. And just like they said, with Access Bank, we've done asset financing. Then, for example, in 2027, there was a time, okay, not to know what we are into cassava processing. So we do farming production and also do processing. So there was a time we had 10 hectares, like in 2027. Then in 2028, we wanted to expand to 30 extra 20 hectares. So then we already started doing some transactions, selling our produce and also processing. So what did we do? We went to assets for asset financing, where we brought 20% of the money and then they financed it. They brought the other part of it. We use it to get tractors because that will help us to be able to assess that land, plow that land, and be able to plant more for the next season, planting season, to be able to harvest more and be able to process more and also grow our output. So that was the first loan we went to Access Bank, asset financing. So from there, in 2028, that was when we now went for working capital. So it was then when we went to the working capital, it helped us, for inventory to be able to produce for the already market that we already have. So, and it helped us to improve our tonnage from, we were producing 2 tons then for FMCG, then we have to increase it to 4 tons out of it. So that is how it is. About
Great,
that.
great. Thank you so much. That was beautifully said, and I think she made it clear the difference between asset financing and working capital. Like for us at Access Bank, what we do is we have different tenures. So if you're doing working capital, you can take for 12 months, which is 1 year. But if you're doing asset financing, because we know that it could take some time before the asset starts to yield money for you, you can do as much as 3 years. So I mean, thank you so much, Ifoma. That was brilliantly explained. Now coming back to you, Adaku. No, some businesses are highly seasonal, right? Like
Yeah.
you have farming, you have schools, and so on. How should they structure their loan request and their repayment so that they can avoid defaulting, right?
Yeah. So, Ifoma, first of all, well said. Before I answer that question, I also want to stress that it's important you also know the type of loan that you need. There is definitely a difference between working capital and your asset finance. And then, in the same vein, when you understand your business, you know when you have your high season, you know when you have your low season. So in Access Bank, for instance, we have our school loans. Our school loans, the repayments are timely because we know that collections come when school opens and they pay school fees. So based on that, we have repayment is timely. So it's each interest on the school. The same thing with different businesses. You could have, for instance, farming, where you have the planting season and you have when you sell. So don't assume that you are going to take a loan with a monthly principal and interest because everybody is taking it. If it is not properly aligned to your business type, you will struggle to repay. The same thing when we talk about overdraft and term loans, right? Overdraft is you have a revolving facility that you can draw down, you can pay, you draw down. That will help so that you are not choking yourself to repay the bank loan and then affecting your business. The bank loan is to support and grow your business. The bank loan is not for you to keep struggling to pay. So yes, in Access Bank, we have, as I said, different types of loans. And the most important thing is when you approach the bank for a facility, be transparent, speak to your business, and when we understand your type of business, then we'll be able to direct you properly to the type of loan you need. So the first thing you need to do is to open that account with us, because it is based on what we see in your account that we can help you. You don't have to run to an accountant for now to have those financials. Remember that when you tell your customers to pay into the account you've opened with us, we can already see what your business is doing, where your business needs help, and how we can help take you to the next level.
Great, great. Very, very well said. Thank you so much, Adaku. That was brilliantly said. Again, remember to open your Access Bank business account. Adaku has said it. Even if someone has said it, I have said it 1,001 times on this life already. Open your Access Bank business account so that every proceed goes into your account. And even when it goes out, they know that you're actually doing business, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you open your accounts, right? Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm coming back to you, Ifoma. Now, a lot of women actually fear bank loans, and that's because they feel that it can ruin their businesses. So, can you share if you've had an experience where you had a challenge in repayment and how you actually overcame that challenge?
Okay. One thing is that once you say yes to the business world, just know that the heartbeat of a business is capital, is money. If you don't have money, you stifle your business. As in, I don't know how I'm going to put it. The way oxygen is to human being, money, that's what money is
It's
to
a
a business.
business. Yeah, right.
So just know that if you say yes to the business world, you need money. And most times, um, it's the banks that will, apart from other ways like grants and grants and other things. But even before you get to still investing in your business, it must be bankable. I used to like using the word, it must be bankable. As is that your, how will I put it, your statement or your financials, that when they look, they'll get excited, because anybody that wants to invest in your business is going to know that is a profitable business. So one thing I will advise us as well, don't let yes, I know initially if you don't have the knowledge, thank you, Access Bank, for putting this up. The truth is that I never attended this kind Access Bank. I don't know where were you then, like 9 years ago.
Oh well.
I didn't hear this then, because if you hear bank, you'd be like, but my dear, if take that loan, let that business grow. Business needs to grow. Yes, it needs to
Thank you so
grow.
much.
Just like a child that needs help. The business needs help. It needs money. Before, especially while growing, but you want to do a whole lot and all that. So, is there are we getting loans and to pay? I don't really. The only thing is that how Access Bank work. Let me not tell us. They do their loan in a way that at the end of the month you don't need to ask for anything. It will just deduct. Hey, God,
Well,
so they just have principal liquidation. So yeah, so it's not like they'll come to knock at your door. Please, it's time to pay the loan. It's being put in the account that at a particular time of the month to just get deducted and all that. And sometimes you might really need that money to do one of the things that money is not there. That's part of it. But the only thing is that every step of loan you take, you pay it, you learn more for the next one. That's all I have to say.
being great. Thank you so much. I mean, my two speakers have highlighted the fact that it's good to take loans, but you have to be careful, right? Yes, great. And I mean, the loans are there to help your business, just like Adako rightly said. They are not meant to stifle your business. So if you
Yeah.
have issues repaying, there are ways that we can go about it as a bank, right? We're not going to hold you by your collar or your jugular. So yeah, now you have to pay by force, right? Yes, but then that's why we are here. That's why Access Bank is here to partner with you to help you make your business thrive, right? Thank you so much, Ifoma. That was brilliantly said. Adako, I'm coming back to you. Some
Yeah.
women believe that banks are biased when it comes to lending to women. Is it a myth or a fact?
It is 100% a myth. I mean, if we even want to talk about being biased, the men should complain because the women loans, we have one of the lowest interest rates for our women loans in the industry. And that is because Access Bank is intentional about lending to women. I mean, look at the women health loans for women that have fertility issues, women that have cancer issues, or even if it's your dependents. We have the term loans. We have even we've had cases where the men now want to change to
Yes,
women, right?
exactly.
Just because they want to assess our interest. So we are intentional about lending to women because it's not just about Access Bank, right? Even the United Nations has stated it that female-owned businesses are one of the fastest growing businesses in the world, and they are more community based. So there is no bias to lending to women. Instead, we are intentional about lending to women. And I just want to add something to what Ifoma said. Transparency is key, right? Everybody talked about the bank, the bank. There are human beings behind this office. There are human beings that work in the bank. So even if you've taken a credit facility and you are struggling, it's best to be transparent. There are a lot of workaround situations where, because remember that the bank is more interested about your business growing, because when your business grows, it means more income for the bank. The bank is not a recovery institution. We are not interested in running around to sell your collateral. We want you to grow so that you repay our loans and you bring more business to us. So do not be scared about bank loans. When you have challenges in your business, my advice is be transparent. Speak up to your relationship team. There are ways to work around it. There are even experts that can be brought in that you might not even have an idea that this solution exists. So
Yeah.
be transparent and don't be scared.
Great. Thank you so much, Adaku. Very well said. You need to be transparent. I mean, I don't know how to put it, but Yoruba has a saying that a corpse does not hide for, I don't know how they say it, but then what it means is that you should not hide from the person who is supposed to be helping you, right? So if you have an issue with repayment or anything, come back to the bank. Let the bank find a way to help you, because just like Adaku rightly said, we are here to help you. Right? We're not here to watch your business suffer. We're not here to let your business crumble because it's of no issue. It's of no use to us. It's of no
Yeah.
value to us if your business crumbles, right? Yes. So we're here to help you. Make sure you're transparent with your account officers and all, and they can help you. Adako has quite a lot of nuggets to share with us. So I'll just give her a few minutes to go ahead and share the nuggets she has for us.
All right, thank you very much. The first thing, like I said, is when you are starting up a business, is really, as Ifoma has chipped in, is to understand your business, to understand your target market, right? And to get those customers in, right? You don't want to, first of all, you have an idea and you run to a bank because you are not sure of what you are going to meet in in the battleground. Then when you are ready, you come to us, you open your account with us, you take the loan, and we're here to grow with you. We have a lot of products to offer, both loan products, deposit products. We have clinics that can help to build your business, put some structure. We have the mentor mentee session that we have where entrepreneurs are partnered with some experts. I know I have mentored a lady from, I think it was Jigawa, that had a farm just like Ifoma, but she was selling yams. And right now, we're able to teach her how to understand financials, have her business plan, and she has grown. So at the end of the day, right, you must understand your business. The idea of understanding your business is not an extent of how far you've gone in academics. It's about knowing that business, studying that business, and partnering properly with the bank. Don't be scared, as I said, be transparent. We have different types of loan products for you. We have the working capital loans, we have asset finance loans, we have the mortgage loans. And I saw a question here about somebody that says, what if you are not in Nigeria? We have the mortgage loans for Nigerians in the diaspora. So if you're a woman or a man, we are not biased, right? You are working, you have a good job outside the country, and you want to buy a property for your family or for you to retire someday. We have those products. We can give it to you, even though you are not here in Nigeria. So go to our website, move to the nearest branch, ask questions. You can drop your questions here. You can engage the W community, and they can send, if you have questions that maybe you're not clear on about taking a loan or how to grow your business, you can drop messages with the W community. They will send it to me. I will try to respond to as much as I can. And, just try and engage. We are partners, as I said. We are not here to rip anyone off. Don't be scared. There are human beings there just like me.
Yes, we are human beings, so we're not robots. Thank you so much, Adaku. You mentioned the Womenpreneur program, and funny enough, Ifoma is an alumni of the Womenpreneur program as well. So you see, Access Bank is very intentional about women, whether it is loans, whether it is trainings, whether it's capacity building, peer learning, just like we're doing. We are all for you. So make sure that you are with us. Follow us across our social media platforms so that you can get first-hand information on everything we're doing for women. We are at the W community. And also, before I forget, we have a feedback poll that we would like you to fill. It's going to be on the bio once we end this session. So make sure to fill it. Let us know how to improve on our sessions. Ifeoma, I'm coming back to you, and I'm trying to wrap up now. If you could give a piece of advice to a woman trying to fund her business, what would that be?
My advice to a woman trying to fund their business:
Yes.
you are not alone. Take a deep breath, breathe in and breathe down. It is a stage in business and it will continue in different capacities. Explore a lot of funding opportunity and do loan from Success Bank. Tell people about your business. Tell people about your business. Sound it to the rooftop. Don't know who can be interested to invest in it. Go for grants. They also help to ameliorate and give you a breathing space if you can. Yeah, that's what I have. And also attend
Great.
training, because training is key. It helps you to make informed and detailed decisions and strategic planning.
Thank you. Spoken like a true businesswoman. Yes, thank you so much, Bufoma and Adako. It's been a very beautiful session with you guys. Now, we have a few questions we'd like to take, right? And like I said, a lot of women have questions. They are already bombarding us. Now, Adako has already answered the one for if someone is outside the country. But then I see that someone is asking, can we talk more about the W home loan and need the car loan? So in the feedback form that I just mentioned, that will be on the bio once we finish, you're able to indicate which loan you are interested in. And then once you do that, we then get back to you on everything that you may need in terms of documentation and process flow. So don't go anywhere, just stay with us. Now, the next question I have is, the person says, can someone pay shop rent from loan collected? Or like, is it advisable to get the loan to pay your shop rent? I want both of you to speak to that. So I'll let Adako go first.
Yeah, I mean, definitely rent is an expense, right? And if you have goods that you've already budgeted for, and you do not want to deplete that capital, you can take a loan for to pay your shop rent. But as I said, before you take a loan, look at your projections. Be sure that the cost of taking that loan will not eat into the capital of your business. I mean, if you've seen it, rent is whether it's monthly or is annually. If you see that if you take that loan and the repayments, which will be spread out in within that period, is not going to affect your business, then why not? You can come to take a loan. We have our working capital loans, which can include that expense as part of it. There's nothing wrong with that. But as I said, before you take that loan, please look at your projection and ensure that the cost of taking that loan will not affect the running of your business.
Great, thank you so much. Ifoma, would you like to say something to that?
Yes. Let me just add a little. Yes, it depends. If just like what Adaku said, you have to. It's an expense, and you have to look at the cost. If because you need a space to run the business, and sometimes it depends. Maybe your customers are not paying. Maybe they have their payment plan, and you're sure that the money is going to come. Of course, you can use it and pay. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. So I see that the lady is actually very, very passionate about that question. So there you have it. You can get a loan to pay your shop rent, but you have to be sure that the repayment is not going to affect your business, right? Thank you so much. Another question here says, can you seek a loan for a business that you haven't started?
You know why? If you have not started your business, right, you haven't tested it. Remember that these loans are depositors' funds, right? So we need to be conservative when giving out this loan. My advice is you can seek investments from your inner circle, right? Family and friends. Then when you are sure that the business has run to a certain period, then you can come for loans. It's not so advisable to take a loan for an untested business. So as I said, but at the end of the day, it also depends, right? There's been a lot of success in tech spaces. So as I said, it depends on a lot of factors. But my advice is before running out to seek a bank loan, look at your inner circle, see what you can get from investments. At least let there be some proof that you've started this business, you have the target market set, and you've been tested to ensure that you'll be able to continue with this business for some considerable future.
Great. Thank you so much. Ifoma, do you want to say something to that?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it's not good. Yeah, it's not good to start business with borrowed money from the bank. There's another way you can. There are so many ways you can start up a business. One is that you can have the idea, you can sell your idea to somebody to fund the business and own it with the person. It's something you actually need money. Do you understand? And again, if you take the money, I don't know in the space you want to. Sometimes you want to say, okay, if I borrow this money, I'll put it here. I don't know what you are putting it in. You don't even know whether it's going to be a success or not.
Sustainable.
You are
Yes.
Yeah.
in trial, you know. Yeah. So another thing you can do is that look for people in your field, collaborate with them. If it's in production, you can do white labeling. You cannot yet where they produce. Let me give to the market. If someone needs it, then person can give me money. I will not produce for that person or sell to that person or give that person the service. I think is the best.
Great.
Not
Thank you so much. So don't start your business with borrowed money from the bank, because really, like Ifoma and Adako has said, you're not even sure yet if it's scalable, right? You're not sure of the sustainability of the business. So what if you borrow the money, you use it to maybe purchase assets and all, and then you don't make enough sales to repay? That's when the problem starts, and then the business starts to struggle. So like both of them had said, you can need source for capital, source for investment from people, just so that the business can find its footing first before you're able to access a loan. Thank you so much, Ifoma and Adako, for that. We have a few other questions. This person says, is there any facility or loan for getting solar inverters for my business? Yes, we have the loan for that. So once you click on that feedback form, you can be able to indicate interest in the W solar loan, and then we can take the conversation up from there. Are there loans for women in career that want to take professional exams? Well, for now, we do not have that product yet, but it is something we can look into. Since you're asking, we can go back and do a little bit of homework to see if that is a viable segment that we want to venture into. And if it is, we will sure let you know, because I mean, you are our own people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I think those are the questions that we have. Ataku, I think I have one last question for you, and that is, what are the top reasons why loans are rejected?
All right. Number one top reason why a loan is rejected is you do not have capacity to take the loan. Okay. Sometimes people come, you want 100 million naira, you want 300 million naira, and you are only turning over 5 million naira. Remember that what your business is currently doing, right, is historical. Right, so you have to look at what your business is currently doing to project that you can repay those loans. So the first thing is capacity. The second top reason is what we call character, right? So right now we have a lot of lending platforms, we have a lot of apps that people take loans, and if you are not disciplined, right, you can actually get yourself in trouble. Right? So sometimes people want to take bank loans, but they're already over leveraged. They already have loans all over the place, and they are going to struggle to repay those bank loans. That's the second reason. And the third reason is there's no alignment of purpose, right? So I still come back to understanding your business. So you cannot be somebody that probably you're a trader, right? And you are selling shoes in the market, right? And you want to come for a loan to buy medical equipment, right? So the purpose for which you're coming for the loan has to align with your business, because it is your business that you use to repay that loan. So loan purpose is the third one. And the fourth one really is you don't have an account with us, you don't have an account with any other bank. You know, we are no longer in the era of burying money under the mattress or hiding it somewhere. We need to see your digital footprint in the financial space, right? So even if you've not been banking with Access Bank and you want to come and start banking with Access Bank to take a loan, we want to see what you've been doing with other banks. So where there's no digital footprint anywhere, right, we are not going to take into consideration the money you've been putting under your mattress. So it's very, very important for you to open that current account, trade, so that we can see your history, we can look at your capacity. Those are the major reasons why, you know, some loans are rejected. And the fifth one, which is, let me just make people laugh, is men. Stop trying to come for women loan, right? We have your own loans. We have numerous loans that are accessible to our male counterparts. We love you, right? But these ones that we've designed for women, please leave it alone, okay? So you have some loans, some companies that are actually owned by the men, but because they want to access some of these discounted interest that we've given to women, they come in the form of women. We'll catch you, okay? Take our other loans, you know, assess them, but let the women come for the women. Support your wife. She can be a partner in your business, and together both of you can come for the loans. But when you know you're the one running the loan, we have 101 products for you. Come for those ones. Leave this one for women, okay? Yeah, so those are the top 5 reasons.
Thank you so much, Adaku. Men, stop coming for women. We will catch you. You cannot buy at the shoe. Sure, no. Great, thank you so much, Adako. Yeah, I wanted you to also speak to the importance of the credit report.
Yeah. Yeah, so I touched on it when I talked about the borrowing from other apps. So it is very, very important. If you have a bad credit report from other lenders and we see it, will not be able to lend to you. This is a regulatory requirement. It's not just something that Access Bank prescribes. It's something that the CBN prescribes, right? We want to lend to people that have good character, that have clean credit reports. So please, if you have bad credit reports, try and go to your other lenders, try and resolve those situations, try and come with a clean credit report because it's extremely important and it is also regulatory. And Access Bank will always try to follow the set down rules and regulations.
Great, thank you so much. As we wrap up, I know that a few of us still have questions that we would like to ask, so you can send an email to wcares@accessbankplc.com, and then you're going to have somebody attend to you. WCares is CARES at accessbankplc.com. Also, I know somebody had said, Access Bank helped me in my business, but I couldn't access a loan. Let's know what you really want, right? So get in touch with us. We're going to take that conversation up from there. Two other things I wanted you to speak to, Adapo. What somebody is asking, what of a business that has been existing for over 10 years?
We love those kind of businesses. You're established. Why not? Please come. Please come, and even if you've been established for over 10 years and maybe there's a slight decline, come, let's see, let's review it. We can give you advice. Listen, Access Bank is not just here to give you loans, right? We can also give you expert advice to see what exactly is the problem, what can you do to, get your business back on track. Come, 10 years, wonderful. That means you're established, you already know your customers, you know your customer base. Those ones we talk like peers, right? So we have no issues with that.
Very well said. Thank you so much. It's not only about loans, right? Like I said, capacity building is important. Ifoma had mentioned that. She stressed the fact that it is important to learn, right? And we have advisory services, we have business clinics. We do quite a lot of things. So make sure that even if it's not to get a loan, you're coming to get expert advice. You're coming to, get solutions to the issues that your businesses are facing. All of these are the things that Access Bank will do for you. So make sure that you are taking advantage of everything that we have in stock. The very last question I'm going to be asking you, Adaku, is this. We want you to just speak to the key steps from loan inquiry to loan disbursement.
Okay.
And so while you are that, can you just touch a bit on documents that are required? Because these steps will come to play if the documentation is complete, right?
Yeah. So the first thing is you really have to register your business, right? If you've been trading in your personal name, that's all well and good, but you have to register. Either you can register as a sole proprietor, you can register as in the partnership, probably with your partner or your husband or your spouse, or register, as yourself. But we learn to register businesses. It's very, very important to put that out there. Even if you don't have a registered business yet, we can assist you. We can introduce you to people that can help you register your business and look into how you've been trading as a personal, as an individual. But it's very important that you register your business. We want to see those business documentation, want to see that your business status is active, right? We want to see the credit reports. We make use of minimum of 3 credit reports, right? 2 private bureaus, and then, the mandatory CBN CRMS check. We want to see it because we want to know how you've been performing, right? We also want to see some of your business documents. If you are an established business, like the business that has been running for 10 years, and probably you want a substantial amount of loan, want to look at your financials, want to see how you've been performing, want to see your customers, right? We want to also see if you are a new to bank customer, want to see the statements of how you've been trading with your other bankers, right? So we want to see that, right? And it's also very, very important for us to see the structure of registration of your business. For a female-owned business, right, she has to own at least 20% and above of that business, right, to be able to access some of our discounted interest rates. And we want to see that she is an active participant in that business, right? So for the account you open with us, we want to see that she's a signatory. We want to see that she's taking some top decisions in the bank, right? We also want to hope that all your tax information is accurate, right? Because that's also a regulatory requirement, right? And depending on the sector you play in, right? So if you're a sector, for instance, if you manufacture things that will be under NAFDAC, want to see your licensing for that. For people that are in the oil and gas sector, want to see your licensing for that. In the health sector, want to see your licensing for that. Want to be sure that your licensing is up to date, is required. That is also a regulatory requirement. So these are basically some of the documents that we look at, right? The other documents are documents we'll give you just probably to execute the application form, and then the others are just our internal documents that your relationship officer will get. But the most important thing, as I said, make sure you're registered, make sure we see those credit reports, make sure we see those bank statements with your other bankers. And if you are playing in a license, if you're operating in a licensed field, we want to see those licenses, we want to be sure that they are up to date.
Great. Thank you so much, Adaku. I am seeing here somebody says, I have been in business for more than 15 years, but I've not registered my business. Can this hinder me from getting a loan? Yes, it can hinder you from getting a loan. Register your business, because really
Register.
a business is a different entity from the person. Right, so we cannot assume that it is your business that is borrowing if you are not registered that business. So make sure to register your business. Somebody here says, can we work with your women community? Most definitely, we can work with your women community. Send us an email at wcares@accessbankplc.com. Now we have come to the end of this session. We have shot over our time with a little bit, but I'm sure that it's been an insightful session, and everyone on the call, you know, they've taken a lot of things back and they're going to impute that into their businesses. So very key things that Adaku and Ifoma have mentioned today is, first, register your business. Second, make sure that you are opening your Access Bank business account, right? Let your business proceeds enter into your account before going out, just so that when you present your document, people are seeing that, oh yes, they're actually doing something on this business. It's not like, oh, you're just making mouth. So don't pay your business money to your personal account to use a business account. Thank you so much once again, Ifoma and Adaku. It's been a wonderful time with you. It's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And to everyone who tuned in, thank you. If you found this helpful, make sure that you're sharing it with your friends, your sisters who are business owners, just so that they can, use these nuggets to improve on their businesses. Like I said at the start of this session, this is the first session on our Demystifying Bank Loan series. So we're going to be having quite a number as the year runs by. So make sure not to miss any one of it. And so that you won't miss it, make sure you're following us across our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and X at the W Community. Make sure that you do that, and you will be able to get first-hand information on everything Access Bank is doing for women. We are committed to inspiring, connecting, and empowering women. And we do not just say that. We don't just talk the talk. We do the work as well. Make sure that you're following us, and you'll be able to get as much help as you need for your business. Thank you so much, Adaku and Ifoma. It's been great having you join us today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye. Bye.
Bye.